Nigeria, which means land of the gods. Kiswahili, Tower of Babel, Kunta Kinte. Amani kutoka you, peace from above. Fuha wasabu siku. Happy seventh day. Fuha wasabu siku. Happy seventh day. Saba, Saba in Kiswahili is the number 7. Put TH on the end and you got to have that. The Book of Life, maximize. Kiribu cha Uzima. Reading from Agano, Jipya, Imanuel. New Testament of Imanuel. Luke chapter 7. Now when he concluded all his sayings in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum, and a certain centurion's servant who was dear to him was sick and ready to die. So when he heard about Imanuel, he sent elders of the youth to him, pleading with him to come and heal his servant. And when they came to Imanuel, they begged him earnestly, saying that the one for whom he should do this was deserving. For he loves our nation and has built us a synagogue. Then Emmanuel went with them, and when he was already not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying to him, Teacher, do not trouble yourself, for I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof. Therefore I did not even think myself worthy to come to you, but say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I also am a man placed under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes, and to my servant, Do this, and he does it. When Emmanuel heard these things, he marveled at him and turned around and said to the crowd that followed him, I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel. And those who were sent, returning to the house, found the servant well who had been sick. Now it happened the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and a large crowd. And when he came near the gate of the city, behold, a dead man was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And a large crowd from the city was with her. When Emmanuel saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, Do not weep. Then he came and touched the open coffin, and those who carried him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say to you, arise. So he who was dead sat up and began to speak, and he presented him to his mother. Then fear came upon all, and they glorified God, saying, A great prophet has risen up among us, and God has visited his people. And this report about him went throughout all Judea and all the surrounding region. Then the disciples of Yom reported to him concerning all these things. And Yom, calling 2 of his disciples to him, sent them to Emmanuel, saying, Are you the coming one, or do we look for another? When the men had come to him, they said, John the Baptist has sent us to you, saying, are you the coming one, or do we look for another? And that very hour he cured many of the infirmities, afflictions, and evil spirits, and to many blind he gave sight. Emmanuel answered and said to them, go and tell Yom the things you have seen and heard, that the blind see, the lame walk, the lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, the poor have the gospel teached to them. And blessed is he who is not offended because of me. When the messengers of Yom had departed, he began to speak to the multitudes concerning Yom. What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you go out to see? A man clothed in soft garments. Indeed, those who are gorgeously apparelled and live in luxury are in king's court. But what did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I say to you, and more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way before you. For I say to you, among those born of women, there is not a greater prophet than John the Baptist, but he who is least in the kingdom of God is greater than he. And when all the people heard him, even the tax collectors justified gold, having been baptized with the baptism of John. But the Pharisees and lawyers rejected the will of God for themselves, not having been baptized by him. And the teacher said, to what then shall I liken the men of this generation? And what are they like? And Emmanuel said, to what? My bad. And Emmanuel said, to what then shall I liken the men of this generation? And what are they like? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling to one another, saying, we played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We mourned to you, and you did not weep. For John the Baptist came neither eating bread nor drinking wine, and you say he has a demon. He has a demon. The Son of Man has come eating and drinking, and you say, look, a glutton and a wine bibber, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. But wisdom is justified by all her children. Chapter 35. But wisdom is justified by all her children. Mother Nature. She. Then one of the Pharisees asked him to eat with him, and he went to the Pharisee's house and sat down to eat. And behold, a woman in the city who was a sinner, when she knew that Emmanuel sat at the table in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster flask of fragrant oil, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping. And she began to wash his feet with her tears, and wiped them with the hair of her head. And she kissed his feet and anointed them with the fragrant oil. Now when the Pharisees who had invited him saw this, he spoke to himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would know who and what manner of woman this is who is touching him, for she is a sinner. And Emmanuel answered and said to him, Simon, I have something to say to you. So he said, teacher, say it. There was a certain creditor who had two debtors. One owed 500 denarii, denarii, and the other 50. And when they had nothing with which to repay, he freely forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him more? Simon answered and said, I suppose the one whom he forgave more. And he said to him, you have rightly judged. Then he turned to the woman and said to Simon, do you see this woman? I entered your house. You gave me no water for my feet, but she has washed my feet with her tears and wiped them with the hair of her head. You gave me no kiss, but this woman has not ceased to kiss my feet since the time I came in. You did not anoint my head with oil, but this woman has anointed my feet with fragrant oil. Therefore I say to you, her sins, which are many, are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loves little. Then he said to her, your sins are forgiven. And those who sat at the table with him began to say to themselves, who is this who even forgives sins? Then he said to the woman, your faith has saved you. Go in peace. What heard? Now, where was that at? Okay, here we go. 34. Here we go again. Chapter 7, verse 34. The Son of Man. One more time. 35. But wisdom is justified by all her children. She, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man Adam called son, who God created first, and who is above all, is she. Just like he said right there, chapter 35. But wisdom is justified by all her children. I sit here because she spoke to he, go to God and said, Father, I know that they are wrong, and I know you are justified in destroying them. But if it be thy will, not all of them, for those are my babies too. God being a forgiving God, a caring God, acknowledged her request and said, Noah, you and your crew. And that's it. Noah, you and your crew. And that's it. My blood is from the beginning, because Noah's blood comes from Adam. One more time. That's my bloodline. That's why I acknowledge that the first covenant is with Noah. I will place the rainbow in the sky as a covenant with man that I will not drown man again. Yeah. See, one more time. It's all about having faith and trust in what you see, not what somebody tells you. Just like with Yon. Yon was already knowing that he was not the greatest, but he is the greatest for the time being. But he knows about the one who's coming that's greater than him. Notice when that woman came in and washed his feet, how on the back end he said, y'all didn't do nothing. Y'all didn't glorify me at all. I ain't tripping, but I'm just saying, look what she did. Look what she did. Y'all shouldn't have been talking about how she ain't worth nothing. But she did more for me than any of y'all did. One more time. Her faith is not in me. Her faith is in he who sent me. But to glorify he who sent me, she is glorifying me. But really, in all actuality, she's glorifying he who sent me. That's why I can say your sins are forgiven. Because it's not me speaking. It's he speaking to the microphone. I am just a speaker. When he speaks into the microphone, I am the speaker. And through me, being his speaker, his power is displayed. Oh, who he think he is that he can forgive. He acknowledges that he is the begotten son. One more time. He said it time and time again. I am the begotten son of man. I'm the son of man. In other words, Adam is the son of God. Luke 3:38. Luke 3:38. One more time. Adam is the son of God, and she, the son, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. For he was drew from the center of the earth. The dew came up through from the center. I am man. I come from the center of my mother. Everybody comes from the center of their mother. Just like Adam came from the center of Mother Earth, Mother Nature. She, the son. One more time. You can learn and understanding that he is a teacher. His job, just like I acknowledge his job because that's my job. That's my job. My job is to teach about Imanuel, something that no one on the face of this earth dares to speak upon except for me. Because I went to he who is and asked him, who am I? You are Luke 3:38. For my big brother said he coming back. Y'all gonna forget my name. But y'all thinking y'all talking about, y'all thought it was he who is? No. Go of gold? No. Imanuel, my brothers. Imanuel, my sisters. Choices. Matthew 1:23 or Matthew 1:25. I choose 1:23 because 1:23 is where the angel delivered his message as to who God's chosen, begotten Son of Man is. And 1:25 tells you who ain't. It's up to you. One more time. There's a reason why feet, pales, and hair straight never speak upon 1:23. One more time. Because they knowledge 1:23 is feet, gold, hair, water the lamb, nappy, kinky, real afro. One more time. Son of man, continuously to do his job and delivering messages and understand that he does not look forward to this glorification, but he does look forward to the glorification, for he has the power of gods. He has no power. God has all the power, and through his grandson he shall show it, just like he did with Samson. Just like they clowned Samson all the way up until the pillars started moving and the Colosseum started tumbling. And lo and behold, the power of gold. Nigri ni Mwanzo. Gold is the beginning. In the name of she, capital S, capital H, capital I, who man, Adam, called son, S-U-N. In the name of the true begotten son, Matthew 1:23, Imanuel, I-M-A-N-U-E-L, whose name in gold with us. In the name of the true motherland, N-I-G-R-I-T-I-A, Nigritia, which means land of the golds. Ki Swahili Kunta King Tay K Tower of Babel, man's first tongue. Amani, Kutoku, you, peace from above. Trip, seas, cool, car, collected, www, whole wide world. Enjoy the weekend. Brachen, blessings.